Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Ryan.
In about 2 minutes, we'll get started. Just so everybody is aware that's on the call, we are recording this call for others that aren't able to join us tonight. Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. We have our Horace Mann staff here, as well as many parents online. Forgive me if I keep on having to look like I'm clicking. I have to admit people as they want to join in. We are recording this call, so please, if you don't want to be recorded, please don't speak. If you need questions and you don't want to be recorded, you're welcome to always contact us during school hours or send me an email, and I'll gladly get back to you as quickly as we can. We're going to give this presentation to all of our incoming kindergarten families. Some of you have students already at Horace Mann, and some of you are brand new to the Horace Mann family. So we're going to introduce our staff. We're going to talk about what kindergarten will look like next year, hopefully look like next year. We're giving this presentation based on the hope that we are going back full in person with no restrictions. And that is our absolute 100% hope. So that's how we're going to present this evening. Of course, if there are things beyond our control, we would make changes accordingly. So we're going to get started right here. This tiny URL is a link back to this presentation. It will also be available online after by tomorrow when I'm able to post everything. My name is John Cafagna. I am the proud principal of Horace Mann. This will be next year my 3rd year at Horace Mann Elementary School and my 23rd year in the school district. We're going to start our presentation this evening with our Pledge of Allegiance and our Horace Mann Pledge, which your children will be seeing every single day when they're at Horace Mann next year. So without further ado, get started.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for our Horace Mann Pledge.
Sorry about that. My computer, of course, froze. I can't wait till we're all in person. Don't have to worry about presenting online. Anybody from the Horace Mann staff, is my screen presenting or no?
It's presenting. Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else from Horace Mann happen to have the Google slide up that they can try to share it? Every time I share my screen, it kicks me off.
I have it up.
I apologize.
We all understand.
I think I can.
I think I figured it out. Let me try it this way. Got it now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm so sorry that that happened. Let's go here. All right. So we're going to introduce our staff. So we have Sarah Boone, our kindergarten teacher, and Ms. Sherry Kuntz, a kindergarten teacher as well. She is new to our school starting next year. She is not new to our school district. Ms. Patuis is moving away, so she will not be working at Horace Mann next year. We have on the phone call tonight also Ms. DeMedio, who was our long-term sub-school guidance counselor. She will not be with us next year. Ms. Thomas will be back as our school counselor. We also have Ms. Hollander, our school nurse, Ms. Esau, our library media specialist, who is, sadly to me, but happy for her to enjoy her career. She is retiring at the end of this school year, and we will have a new librarian as well. Mrs. Figueroa is our literacy teaching coach. Ms. Garcia is our basic skills instructing teacher, not on the call, but some people that you will interact with at the school. Mrs. Belmont, our school secretary, Mr. Germosin Taveras, our head custodian, and Ms. Kamarat is our PTA president, and she will be on the last slide. Right now, I'm going to hand it over to Ms. Boone.
What's so funny?
Crazy hair day.
Yes, I do not often come to school with the spatula on my head, but you never know. I'm very excited to meet everyone, familiar faces, new faces too. Super excited about meeting your children next year. I've been in kindergarten and or first grade for a combination of 20 years, and I like to go to the beach and relax and play tennis and bake and cook.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Kuntz. I've been in Cherry Hill for 18 years. I used to teach at Horace Mann, but I'm back and I'm happy to be back. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I taught kindergarten at Horace Mann, so I'm very familiar with Horace Mann. I still know a lot of the staff members that are still there. I love to read, go to the beach, and spend time with my family. And I'm very, very excited to meet all the new kindergartners.
Horace Mann Elementary School, we also refer to it as HMES, is a Rowan Professional Development School. That is a really awesome opportunity that we have here in our community, where we have Rowan professors in residence, as well as Rowan teachers that are learning, coming in and working in our school on a yearly basis. Right here, I'm going to show you what that is about. Hopefully this won't disconnect us too.
The Horace Mann Elementary School. Part of the Cherry Hill Public School District, a national district of character located in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and partnered with Rowan University as a professional development school. Our mutually beneficial partnership with Rowan University provides access to resources that enhance professional development opportunities, guided by the 4 pillars with the Professional Development School framework. Pre-service provides opportunities for resident teachers to work with seasoned teachers in our school as they prepare to enter this fulfilling profession. In-service invites our staff to work with seasoned Rowan professors and residents to focus efforts on setting and reaching goals that benefit our entire learning community. Student learning focuses our efforts to connect with all student learning styles, providing choice and effort for all students to meet our highest expectations for learning and doing, while modeling great character attributes aligned with respect, responsibility, and citizenship. Research is aligned with our commitment to lifelong learning and is used to improve. The community is committed to growing through research and practice to benefit all involved, and in turn inspire students to be world-class citizens who never stop learning.
We're also a state school character recognized in 2019 and also a national school character recognized in 2020. And our district has also been recognized as a national district of character. What that means is not that we won an award for great character. It means that we have a commitment in our school to continue great things to develop great character within our school. And it's also how we respond to things, how we respond to our ever-changing world and our students being welcomed into the community that is their school. So as your students enter in kindergarten, recognize they're not entering Horace Mann, they're coming to their school. Please stay connected with us. We use the handle HMES_CHPS for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and the Cherry Hill app. The Cherry Hill District does have its own app. It is helpful. It's not the best app in the world, but it is something, if it's on there, you'll be able to get information very quickly. We used also a text messaging service and email service to send updates and emergency information based on the contact information that you will have in your parent app. We'll give you information over the summer. You will get something sent to your email and make sure your parent app is continually set up and correct. It's very important that you don't block our text messages or our emails because we do use them for emergency situations. I try to make sure we also do not abuse the text messaging. We use it when necessary. We also weekly have a newsletter that goes out via email, and we also usually retweet that out on our Twitter account. Important things to know about our kindergarten curriculum. Our New Jersey student learning standards, what are they? They're the standards adapted by New Jersey for all students K through 12, the rigorous standards that guide daily instruction. They're spiral and recurring, and they build upon each other. The NJSLS can be found online. This is the same curriculum that we follow and the standards that we use in all 12 of our elementary schools. By the end of kindergarten, Ms. Boone, do you want to take the next slide?
Okay, your child will know all of the letters and sounds.
And Ms. Koontz?
Number 2, read an emergent level text.
And they're going to ask and answer questions, either orally or in writing, with evidence from text. And your students can do it, regardless of where you think they are today, or if they are already doing this when they enter to our school. We will differentiate for all of our children. They will write a narrative opinion and an informative piece. And they will count to 100. If they're already counting to 100, again, what we will do is work with our students and differentiate. But they will get there if they are not. And they will have a strong grasp on number sense. Some of the things that you're going to see our students doing in mathematics might look different than the way that you learn mathematics. But it is very well known that using these methods are going to inspire our students to think, learn, and be able to apply their knowledge of mathematics to be able to solve problems in a quicker pace and quicker rate with deeper understanding. Not just find the answer, but know how they find the answer. They're going to know addition and subtraction facts to 5. How can this be accomplished? Our kindergarten journey is together. So we definitely need that parent and family partnership with our school staff to do everything that we can for your child. Every child is unique. As we work with your children, we're going to be telling you information about their successes. We're going to be celebrating those. We're going to be telling you about needs. A need does not mean that your child has a problem. It means that we're learning together. And it means that we're identifying how to grow. It's excellent to remember that every child also grows at different rates. Some children might be, if you think about the developmental phases, if you have multiple children, they might talk and speak quicker than others. Or they might start walking before someone else. All those things happen, but then we work together to make sure that we meet their skills to make those kindergarten standards evidenced by what we teach our students and what they're learning. So we bring everybody up to the same pace and then higher. Ms. Boone, do you want to go over your sample of your daily schedule and talk about it a little bit? Because this is only a sample.
Yes, exactly. So as far as the number of minutes go, that's probably the most likely to be like the most valid there. Like, as far as when things happen, it might vary a little bit depending on the schedule across the other grades too. But basically, we're going to have every morning a homeroom and a morning meeting. We're going to have our English, language arts, social studies time, which is like a reading block, but it's also social studies. So it's integrated. There'll be stories, and the children will go off and do some literacy activities and have small group activities at that time. Science is presented in the same way, where they're doing some hands-on things and fun things and hearing stories and then going off into little groups. About an hour for each of those is allotted there. Foundations is key. That's where the children are learning their letter sounds and practicing every single day, identifying letters and sounds, writing sight words, and every skill builds upon the next. That's a daily occurrence. Snack. We do take some time for snack every day. Milk is available. You'll get some information about how to sign your child up for milk. Lunch and recess will help the kids. They're going to need to know their number codes. And we spend a lot of time in the beginning of the year teaching them how to enter their codes. We'll be practicing that. Math, very hands-on. We spend 50 minutes a day on math, working and counting. And again, Dr. Kafanya said spiral review. So we'll introduce a skill and keep practicing it. It'll go away and come back. Lots of hands-on activities and manipulatives are used. The encores are your specials that take place, and they rotate on a number basis. So for example, day 1, your child might have art. Day 2, your child will have, let's say, PE. And all that information can be found on the school website. It will help teach the schedule, your day of the week schedule, your encores, your library, and music. And the kids will have SSI and Spanish. SSI is computer time, where they're learning amazing computer skills. And Spanish is a lot of fun. That rotates. You'll see more detail about that. We'll communicate all that information with you. But that's a 45-minute block of one of those activities per day. We have rest time and quiet time. That's usually following recess. After we come in, we calm down, and we have some quiet time in the classroom, and play time. Play is integrated throughout the day as well. But we have a specific time where we practice our social emotional skills, and we practice playing with friends and getting along and sharing materials. And we have lots of fun. So it's a very, very busy day, and it's a lot of fun. And that's it.
As you see, it is a full packed day every single day. Again, that is not the order in which the activities will happen. We will make them happen in the best order possible for the students, with the students' interest in mind. But please recognize that the school start time is 9 a.m. and we do end at 3:30. It's very, very important that our children start school on time, so they don't feel like they're rushed, or that they're late, or that they're running to get where they need to go. So we do ask you to make sure that if you are driving your children to school, that you get them there by 8:45, so that way they have time to walk in, get to the right space. If they're riding their buses, the buses will get them there on time. And we will make sure that they are dismissed on time as well. Our dismissal and arrival procedures will be shared prior to the school year beginning, as we change those depending upon whatever our needs may be for that school year. Mrs. Figueroa. Go on.
There we go. Hi, everybody. I'm Trudy Figueroa. I am the literacy teacher coach for Horace Mann School. Usually at this point, I've already met everyone because I've seen you at kindergarten registration and possibly even done a kindergarten readiness screening. But of course, those things did not happen in this crazy year. However, I'm here right now to talk to you about the fun stuff. We have a kindergarten readiness bag for each one of your children. And the bag contains some of the items that you see on the screen: scissors, crayons, pencil, a summer journal, which is basically blank pages for them to draw and write whatever they'd like, just to keep them drawing and writing some letters or whatever they'd like to do, keep that pencil moving, right? And another thing is, we call this thing in the middle a communicator. It is basically a plastic sleeve, and we can slide papers inside it, and the papers you have inside it are foundations papers, which Mrs. Boone already mentioned. And your child can use these as like a write-on and wipe-off idea. So we give you a dry erase pen, and they can actually form their letters. You're going to hear about foundations a lot, and the language that we use in foundations is very different. So in our kindergarten bag, we also have a folder of materials. If you want to switch to the next slide, Dr. Cafagna, thank you. And in that folder, we have a kindergarten book and a suggestion sheet on how to read books with your children. We have a list of the Mann Library databases that Miss Esau so wonderfully, generously buys for all of our students every year. There's a school supply list for kindergarten. And then there's a foundations letter formation guide. And you can use this formation guide when your child is either writing in their journal or writing on that communicator using the paper. And you're going to see that the paper has lines on it, like the plane line and the worm line, and very funny looking little lines, but they all have the foundations has a language that goes with it. So if you were forming, say, the letter C, we would say C is a plain line round letter. And it starts on the plain line. So all the students would know to put their marker on the plane line. And then there's a series of directions which you have in this folder that would say things like point to the plane line, start to fly backwards, and go down and around to the grass line. So they get into the habit of forming their letters correctly. So that Foundation's letter formation guide is going to be important for you because they're going to come home sharing this brand new language with you, which is not familiar usually to most people unless you've had an older child in the school. On the other side of the folder, you're going to see a welcome letter, a welcome to kindergarten letter, 10 ways to prepare your child for kindergarten, some free and fun websites, a summer activity calendar for each month, June, July, and August, and then the Cherry Hill school calendar so that you know in advance about half days, days off, and how our schedule is going to work. I think, Dr. Kofani, you already have communicated to them about the pickups on Thursday, correct?
Yeah, so on Thursday, we're asking everybody to please pick up the kindergarten readiness bags. If you're unable to get here for that day, just send in a note. If you already have a child that attends a school, we can send it home with them, or just send me a note and we'll make arrangements for you to pick up another day after the school year is completed next week or whatever is convenient for you. We would just like them to get into your hands so you can use them with your children throughout the summer.
Mm-hmm. Now, my next slide isn't as fun. It's the kindergarten screening information. The kindergarten screening we usually give is not being given this year because it's a one-on-one assessment and a lot of hands-on materials that would have to be sanitized between each child. We just thought it was safer to just bring them in because children are who they are, and we can test them in June and they can be totally different children by September. So I'm loving the fact that we're going to bring your children in September and we're going to take them from where they are and we're going to move them to as far as we can. But we do some other diagnostics just to get a baseline. And one is called the DIBBLES, which stands for Dynamic Indicators of Basic Early Literacy Skills. And it's very simple 1-minute tasks that just give us some insight into how your child works with letters and sounds. They're going to do an iReady diagnostic test, which basically kind of shows us and puts the children on a path created by the iReady system based on what they do on the assessment. So whatever they do in the diagnostic, then they have a prescribed path to do some independent learning activities, and the teachers can also assign other things that they think would be helpful. We have district assessments that happen throughout the year in certain times during the year, and all of this information is used to guide our instruction and tailor our instruction to your child. Kindergarten is definitely not a one-size-fits-all. Everybody is different, and we love that about kindergarten. And the two teachers you have are like super great at understanding and getting your children to move as far as they possibly can.
Hi, I'm Heather Gersey. I'm the basic skills teacher, and I'll be providing kindergarten support in small groups next school year. Some of the things that we'll be exploring together are books, and in those books we'll be looking for patterns, we'll be looking for rhymes, and we'll be practicing early literacy skills as well. So one of the most important early literacy skills is rhyming, and it's a critical part of kindergarten. It teaches letter sounds, and it helps support reading and writing. So that will be a big focus in the beginning of the school year. Also, we'll work on blending and segmenting syllables as well as counting syllables, and we'll focus on letters and letter sounds. Those are just a few of the many important skills that we'll focus on in small groups. But that's a little snapshot of some of the important things we'll work on together. We'll also work on building independence in those small groups, and most importantly, having fun with language.
So if Ms. Gersey or Ms. Figaro are meeting with your child, please understand that's a typical occurrence. They are resources in the kindergarten classrooms. So with our kindergarten teachers, we also have educational assistants that will be in the classrooms, as well as Ms. Gersey, Ms. Figaro. So if your child talks about meeting with other people in the school, please don't think that that's a problem at all. We use a team approach to make sure we address all of our needs of our students, and making sure we give them different opportunities to have choice in some of the things that they do in the classroom as well. So our summer fun, the Cherry Hill Public Schools has created a We Explore Summer Learning Adventure for all students entering K through 5. The new activities and themes will be posted each week during the summer. So look for them posting in early July. Important things to know about our Library Media Center.
Yay.
Do you need me to click on that link, Diane?
Yes, please. Hi, everyone. My name is Diane Esau, and I'm the Library Media Specialist here at Horace Mann School. And welcome. The library has changed a great deal since we were in school. But one thing has not changed. One thing has remained the same, that our mission is always to foster in our students a lifelong love of reading and learning. And this is especially important with kindergartners because they are just starting this journey of a lifelong love of reading and learning. And we do this in a bunch of different ways. Students will be exposed to read aloud texts and digital texts. We will be exploring print resources and e-resources and sort of comparing and contrasting what that experience is like. We talk a lot about the difference between fiction and nonfiction. We will experience a lot of that. And also students getting to know that nonfiction is the kind of text that we use when we are looking for information. Kindergartners will be learning how to be careful with library materials and also how to be careful with each other. We spend a lot of time on the concept of just right reading books. They will be exposed to all different kinds of text so that they can really find out what that just right one is for them, whether it be an author or a series or a database or whatever, where they are most comfortable with their reading. They'll be given a lot of opportunities to express their ideas about what they are reading, what others are reading, what we are reading all together. And this is all part of developing that habit of reading and learning and just over and over practicing those skills. There's one mantra that I have for all students from K to 5, and they hear me say it to them every week, every every year, and they repeat it back to me, and it's this: that the more you read, the more you know. So if you could practice this with your child at home, that would be a great head start. I'm looking forward to another great year with another new batch of kindergartners. And I hope to be meeting you all sometime soon. Take care and be well. Dr. Cafagna,
Yes.
that was what I made earlier. One thing I would like to also add to that is that please take a look at the Cherry Hill Public Library site. They have lots of activities, reading times, exploring times, virtual experiences, experiences that they're going to have there on site out in the yard of the library. Please take a look at the Cherry Hill Public Library website. There are lots and lots of literacy and fun events, fun learning events going on at the public library in the summer. If you do not have a library card, there is a link right there. It's a Google form. So you can get a library card number, and that's all you need to open up all of those activities and events for your kids and for your family.
And also, if I can just chime in, getting your children to just start liking books, whether they're reading them or not, looking at pages, looking at pictures, you reading books to them, with them. It's a great opportunity to get your children to start feeling comfortable with books, because absolutely, the more we read, the more we know.
And
Thank you, Mrs.
And to get them to explain illustrations. That's the other thing. If they're if it's pre-reading, just have them look at the illustrations and say, what do you see here, and have them form those ideas. So important stuff. Thank you.
Speech and language services and other services in our school, such as intervention and referral services, are things that we have. So speech and language, if your child were coming in with an IEP or need for speech and language, we would be meeting with you to discuss how that would be carried out during their kindergarten year. If you do have your child coming from a non-public preschool and you have a speech concern or need, please make sure you contact us and let us know prior to the school year beginning, so we can talk about the steps that we would take to make sure that we're doing all the things possible for your child. If your child were to have an intervention, their own individualized education plan, an IEP, we would also know about that and be servicing your child with their IEP. Again, if you're coming from another school and not our school district and your child has an IEP, please make sure we are aware of that. There's also something called intervention and referral services that we have in our school district. What we do in our interventional referral services is whenever we find a need with a child, what we do is we discuss it within our group. We talk about things to better measure the progress of each child prior to ever jumping to a least restrictive plan of possibly getting special education services or something of that nature. Sometimes with our intervention and referral services, it also just becomes a conversation where we have it with our colleagues to try to find the best resources available to meet the needs of children who are very different within our classrooms. So we use this opportunity to have meetings with one another to talk about strategies that have worked, that didn't work, and try different things within our classrooms, and sometimes bring in other resources such as Mrs. Garcia or Ms. Figueroa. And now I'll introduce Ms. Hollander, our school nurse.
Oops. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
My name is Stacy Hollander. I will be your child's school nurse in kindergarten and beyond. So I just listed a few important things about, first of all, welcome to Horace Mann, all of you parents out there. I'm looking forward to meeting you and your little ones. So there's some business to take care of. If you have not already heard from me about uploading the documents for your child's immunizations, it's because either your child is up to date on their 5-year-old immunization, or I see that they have a July or August birthday, and I'm not going to ask you for it now because you can't do anything about it. But by the time they start kindergarten, they should have their 5-year immunizations. If you're not sure which ones those are, you can contact me. Your pediatrician knows. But I have reached out to most of you via email or phone call or mail. Each child is required for kindergarten to have an annual physical. They should have had one. They should have one, I should say, within the past 365 days. That's part of the kindergarten registration requirement. Okay. How do we go to the next slide? Thank you, Dr. Kafania. So some important things to know about health. Any medications of any kind that your child may need in school should never be sent with them on the bus, or if you drop them off, should not be carried with them whatsoever, either to or from school. And I cannot accept any medications that don't have the proper paperwork. So any medical forms that you might need, you can find on the Horace Mann webpage. You go to the quick links portion, and under quick links, if you click on that, you'll see a page for nurse. All the forms that you'll need will be there, and you can just download them and print them. If you have difficulty with that, email me, and I'll make sure that you get it. I ask that everyone keep their child and other children healthy and safe. Make sure your child eats a healthy breakfast each morning so that they're ready to learn. Please don't send your child to school if they have a fever of 100 or higher, or if they're feeling ill, because if they feel ill at home, I promise you they're not going to feel any better when they get to school. Unfortunately, sad to say, but they don't. Please don't send your child to school if they're vomiting or if they have diarrhea. That's also not going to get better in school. And if your child does experience a fever, they should be fever-free for 24 hours without the use of Tylenol or Motrin or any fever-reducing medication. Please don't send them to school after you've given them Tylenol or Motrin because they do have a fever. It's also helpful, I always say this, not just to kindergarten, but even first, second, and third grade, would be so helpful to us if you would send a little change of clothing, like in a Ziploc bag that they keep in their backpack just for emergency. It's either they may not have gotten to the bathroom in time or they fell in a puddle at recess, or it's French Day and they are going to smell like maple syrup until they go home. So it's helpful, and they're sticky. It's helpful if you send in a change of clothing and underwear in a little Ziploc bag. And also another thing, in case Mrs. Boone.
I just wanted to add, if you send it in a bag and label it with your child's name, we'll just keep it at school, so it doesn't have to be transported in the backpack all the time. And that's all you need to do. Send it in once, and thank you in advance.
Thank you, Mrs. Boone. Also in Genesis, in the parent portal, you all have access to that. Please make sure that you have an updated list of emergency contacts in the event that I need to contact you or any of us at school need to contact you. And in order to reach that area in Genesis, there's a website on there that you can get to that'll show you exactly how to do that. In case of an emergency, it's always best, that we have more than one emergency contact. Also, if you have any questions about anything, medical or otherwise, if I can help you at all, I'll be happy to do so. And my email's on there, shollander@chclc.org. And I'm looking forward to meeting your children in person.
Hi, I'm Mrs. DeMedio. I'm Christine DeMedio, the long-term sub for the year. This long-term sub school counselor for the year. I just wanted to go over some important things to know about school counseling and what my role is within the school. And that's to help support the needs of all students so they will achieve and demonstrate their full potential. Focused on personal social growth, academics, and career development, support is provided through short-term individual counseling, small group sessions, classroom lessons, and school-wide initiatives and activities. Some of the topics we may talk about if there's a need for the individual counseling or small group sessions might be anger, anxiety or worry, attention, focus, different family dynamics, family changes, divorce, friendship, conflict resolution, grief, self-esteem, social skills, and study skills. A big part of my role is also the classroom lessons. All kindergarten students receive social emotional instruction in the form of lessons through the Second Step program. That is a district-wide program that kindergarten uses. It's a classroom-based social emotional learning program with lessons and reinforcement activities designed to increase children's school success and decrease problem behaviors. Second Step lessons include a fun activity, story and discussion, and scenario for application of skills through 4 units. And those 4 units are below in that picture: skills for learning, empathy, emotion management, problem solving. They always have a fun song that goes with it, and there's puppets that are used. The kids love it. We love teaching it. I know this year the teachers did it. When children have second step skills, it creates a safer, more respectful learning environment that promotes school success for all. And each unit in the program teaches specific skills that are linked with important life outcomes. So that's the second step program. In conjunction with that, we also have character education lessons, and those are additional classroom lessons that correspond to the character education themes of Horace Mann. We did hear our pledge. We also give out those eagle eye slips you can see on the right. They're super tiny there, but I wanted you guys to see what they look like. And you get that when you are showing our core values of respect, responsibility, and citizenship. Respect, we talk a lot about showing you care about others and yourself. Responsibility, making good choices. Citizenship, being a positive community member. And stamina, doing something for a long period of time without giving up. That's really important to us at Horace Mann, and that's something we really strive for all our students to display through our character education and our classroom lessons.
Thank you, Mrs. DeMedio. So important things to know about transportation. Letters will be sent home about a week or so prior to school starting with details about transportation, the route number, pickup and drop off locations, times, and etc. for your child. All students must wear seatbelts on the bus. Please practice that with your child if possible, learning how to buckle and unbuckle a lap belt by themselves. A parent or guardian or older sibling must be present to receive the child at a bus stop. That's a kindergartner. Otherwise, a child will be returned to his or her school. There are provisions and forms that the district can have you fill out if you need an alternate plan. So important things to know. Our home and school partnership is very, very, very important. Making sure that we are speaking and communicating with one another. Asking teachers your questions. If you have any question about things that are going on in school, please ask them a question. We do not like guessing what's on people's minds. And no questions are ever too silly to ask. Make sure you ask them. If you feel like there's an issue or problem, bring it to our attention. We may not know about it. If you have a question and you don't feel like you're getting through there, please ask me as a resource. Ask the nurse. Ask our guidance counselor. Ask our librarian if you have questions about reading, or Ms. Figaro or Ms. Garci. Well, we have all these resources here because we want to help. We got into this profession, all of us, because we love helping children. We love helping families. We know it's a partnership and we have to do it together. How can you get involved? Getting involved in making sure that you read our weekly newsletters, see the things that we're doing in our school. When we have opportunities, and hopefully we will have them next year, we will invite you in for things. We ask you to come in and see great presentations of our children, celebrate in their work, and make sure you're following us on our social media, because that is a window into our school when sometimes you can't be there. Especially if you're a new parent to the school. I know it is very difficult sometimes to let your child go, or for some of you it's easier than others. But as you're letting your child go to school, it's great to be able to see pictures, to see that they are learning, they are safe, and that we are caring for your child the best that we can. Other ways to get involved is to join our PTA. Our PTA is wonderful. What they do for the community to bring things together, to think about what we can do for our children, and to think about how to enhance the things that are already going on in our school is something that is essential within the PTA, and having that voice. Making sure I'm able to hear what our community needs and not just try to guess what everybody needs. Again, that partnership is so important. I'm always open to suggestion. I'm always open to listen. And I always want to work with our PTA as we have our meetings to talk about how we can better help make the connections between our community to best support our kids. Momina, are you on? Let's see. Oh, Momina is our PTA president, and she would talk to you about what we actually do here for our PTA. And I apologize. I hope I gave her the right link. We do host family events like our Boys and Girls Nights Out. We have family bingos and family art nights. So we do have, there she is. Hang on, she's coming in now. Momina, we're at your slide. You can unmute yourself if it's working. I'll keep on going. She'll jump in if she can. They provide supplemental technology and resources to the teachers. They help out with any things that we're looking for in the way of grants and successes in our classrooms. They organize staff appreciation events, which are so important and so very much welcomed. They create our yearbook, They run book fairs and holiday shop. They design and distribute our spirit wear. So we're going to have to get all your little kiddos in the spirit wear if they don't have an older brother or sister. Remember, our colors are
blue and gold.
Blue and gold. There she is.
Sorry. You were doing such a good job. I wanted to let you go with it. So
there, you can continue.
Sorry. So sorry for that. My name is Momina Camarada. I am the PTA president for this school year and next. And like Dr. C said, we are really here to support our students and to kind of enhance the school experience. Just going down the list, we host all of the family nights out, the bingo, the boys and girls nights out. We also run the book fairs and the holiday shops. We design and distribute the spirit wear. We also organize the Dine and Donates, which are kind of like easy fundraisers to kind of support other businesses within our community. We also support visiting authors and other assemblies in school. And of course, those are all funded by the little fundraisers we do. We don't go crazy with them, but that you will see them throughout the year. Please consider joining because we're always looking for new ideas and new ways to support our students. In the meantime, during the summer, you can join our Facebook group. It's Horace Mann PTA. It is a private group, so it's just parents from school. Nobody else can see in. You do have to get approval to enter the group, but you don't have to be a PTA member to be in that group. It's just a great way to interact with other parents and see what else is going on in school. You can also check out our website or email me with any other questions. And that is it. So welcome to Horace Mann. It's a great school. You're going to love it.
Thank you. So our student orientation is going to be, please put it on your calendar, the afternoon of September 2nd. That is right before school begins. The calendar, of course, in September is always wonky with the amount of days. I think we come in for like one day and then we're off a couple. It's something a little confusing. Look at the school calendar for next year. But September 2nd is one of our in-service days for teachers only. So in the afternoon, we're going to be able to free up some time that we're going to be able to welcome in our students so they can come in, get a quick look at the classroom, know where they're going to be headed. So in that way, it's a little bit of a way for them to see what they're going to get, a preview prior to them coming on that first day of school, when it might be a little nerve-wracking for some of you. And it's usually more nerve-wracking for the parents than it is for the kids. So I ask you, please, to remember that your emotions also carry through to the children. So when you're nervous, upset, excited, crying, your children are doing the same. So if we can get them off, and then if you have questions, concerns, whatever, you can always go to your car and give me a call. I have called parents. I have sent pictures of their child alive in the school so they can see them there and make sure that they know that they're there. Whatever it is I can do to make you guys feel more comfortable, I make sure that I do that. I do know how it is to be a parent. I do know what it feels like to be nervous. And I do know that it's important for you to trust the school. So please make sure that you can always call on us for anything. So welcome to the HMS family. If you are new to the school, welcome. If you brought us another child, thank you for keeping us in business. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off the presenting part. And if you have any questions, feel free to press the hand raise button. If you can find it. If you can't find it, you can wave at me and I'll do my best to recognize who's here. I have good wait time. Nobody wants to be the first person to ask a question.
Hi, Dr. Cafagna.
Hi, Maureen. How are you?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to student orientation and even the first day of school. Is there any guidance on whether parents will be allowed inside the building?
Not yet, but if we are back to normal, I would assume that we will be able to welcome parents back in as well. I'm not certain if it will have anything to do with vaccinations or anything of that nature. I am not a health professional, and I'm not saying that to put Stacy on the spot because she doesn't know either. We all are guided by, we are in a public school, so it is a good question for you to bring up and for me to address so everybody understands. We work in a public school, so we're guided by many different entities that have layers above us, which include the CDC, then the Department of Health, then the Department of Education. So for example, when the CDC or Department of Health come out with all these new awesome things that we can do, and they change the spacing to 3 feet and they do something different, if the Department of Ed, it doesn't go and change the plan for us, we're kind of held out there on our own sometimes. And the district making a decision on its own without the backing of Department of Ed isn't always something that our district would do or cater to. So we do look at all those other entities to make sure we're doing the right things. But my hope and my prayers are, yes, that we would welcome people back. And if there's ever a specific need, I can still, even like today, if I needed to have a parent come in and they need to come into the school for a reason, I can make it happen. We're just not inviting parents in just to come in and see the kids for any old reason right now, because we're still following the pandemic rules. But yes, my hope is definitely, especially on that day of orientation, that we can have parents come in. The first day of school, though, we do not have parents follow their children into school because we would not be able to hold school if that happened. If you need to, what I would suggest, maybe I can get our PTA to start it up. I did it at one of my previous schools. We had something called a parent tea, and we had it in like the opposite end of the building or the opposite end of the yard from the kindergarten area, that you just know you're there. You know that you're on the same property as your child. Have a glass of iced tea, ask me some questions, and then you guys can go on your way and recognize you have a little bit more free time during the day. I know that not everybody has free time. I'm just saying that for fun. There it is. You see, I always say things like that because I know Momina listens to everything I say. I think I might not be able to graduate her child from Horace Mann ever. But yes, very supportive. Any other questions? If you can't think of them now and something pops up, please email, send in a question. Hopefully, you know, I am working all summer. Oh, wait, hang on. Who has their hand up? I just saw one pop up. It said Ebony. Ebony, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yes, quick question. Is there any additional information about the, what is it, SAC program?
So the SAC program, I actually just met with them today. Yes, the SAC program that we have right now is actually already full for next year. They have a waiting list. So if you go on the CHCLC website, or if you go on, let me look real quick while I'm talking to you, on our website, I believe I put a link in there in our quick links. No, they moved it. Parent information. I will get it up on the parent information area. They've taken it down. Our websites are run through the district and the tabs keep on changing. I will fix that and get that up there. But if you go to chclc.org, you can go in there and you can find the information for SAC. If you just hit the magnifying glass search area and type in SAC, the site information comes up, and there's a page there for what you can do with their SAC numbers and how you can register for them. That is a paid service. SAC is an after school and before school program that they offer supervision of children, that you can drop them off earlier and also pick them up later if necessary. They also have options for different days of the week or for the full week. But they did mention to me that right now it is full at Horace Mann and there is a wait list. So please, if you are interested in that, please get there quickly and get your name on the list. Sometimes if there's enough people that put their name on the list, they might open up another area by bringing in another staff member if they're able to do that and allow more children to come.
Yes, thank you so much. I did find it and we are signed up. I just wasn't sure kind of how it works at Horace Mann. Like, is it there on the property?
Yes. Okay. So the SAC program is housed in our all-purpose room, which is also where we serve our lunches. So in the morning, we'll have a procedure for you to drop off your child. We just recently had an upgrade in the security profile at our school, meaning that we have a lot more cameras and a lot more. We have swipe badges now, not for students or parents to swipe in, but just for staff members. And we have the ability to let people in certain doors. So the SAC program, if you were signed up for morning SAC, they have hours that you can drop off pretty early in the morning. I believe it starts at 7:30. Something of that nature, or 7 or 7:30. And then also in the afternoon, you can usually pick up, I believe it goes till 6. But they'll give you those hours and you can sign up again for what you need. You don't just, it's not just a blanket program. They have different menu items, if you will, to choose from for your needs for your students or for your children. I used SAC program personally for my child when he was in elementary school, and it was remarkable. We loved it. He had a good time. He gets to play around. They have time for them to play, and then if they get into 5th grade or so and you want them to do homework, you can always request things like that too. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Anyone else? I see a lot of repeat last names up there. So, all right. Again, if you come into any questions or something pops up, please let us know. The ESL program, right now, the ESL program in our school district, it's a district program. So if your child were to qualify for ESL services, unfortunately, this year still at Horace Mann, they would be given an option to go to a different site for ESL services, which would change their school for your child, which isn't the end of the world. But I do know that there are plans in the future for more ESL or ELL teachers to be hired and hopefully grow the program so we could offer it in our school as well. They offer it with efficacy, and that's why we do it the way we're doing it right now. And that's why there's sites that are offered to make sure that we're doing that in the right fashion. Did I answer your question? It was in the chat. Thank you. All right, any other questions that pop up, please know that I am available. I do work through the summer. We do have different hours and there are meetings. Sometimes I'm not there. Doesn't mean I'm not working, but you will see my card a lot frequently. But also email is a good way to reach me. Thank you so much for trusting us with your children. Have a great summer, and I can't wait for everybody to be in person and see you guys in person too. Sorry we had to do this remotely. I wish we could have done this in person as well. Thank you so much. Have a great day.